live in 2 different places. It's like kind of a tricky trick thing, like, or it's a little tricky, I think. Just a little tiny touch tricky. Okay. I want to do some deep dives into like my personal thoughts on things and just deep diving it tonight. Like, I'm going to be a deep dive girly. I just want like deeply, share deeply about things that resonate with me. Like, a lot of people have opinion factories about all sorts of things. I get to be the opinion factory tonight. Like, I'm not always opinion factory, but I feel like it. Like, I just feel lots. Oh, wake up, wake up. I feel lots of opinions coming on. Lots and lots of opinions coming on. They're just coming on like they're gonna be strong cookie opinions tonight. I feel like being a strong cookie opinion girl. Really. Okay, first one. First giant opinion. I believe in God. If you don't believe in God, that's your business. But I believe in God. And I believe it's God's creation. We do not rank people 1 to 10, 0, or anything. And I joked in my last video that, I think people who rank people are zeros. But I kind of do, because this is what I believe. You are God's creation. And nobody gets to put a number on you. The minute that somebody puts a number on you or tries to quantify you in a certain way, you walk away from that situation. Like, anytime you hear people doing that, you're like, you know what? These are not spiritual beings. These are not people that are uplifting. You're going to go for a walk and you're going to go outside and look at the trees, because people like that, I don't know, it doesn't matter the context, it doesn't resonate with me at all. And like, today I'm feeling like deeper diving into things, like just expressing myself, Like, I'm never gonna go live with other people, by the way. I know on TikTok, like, a lot of people, they're always like asking me to go live with them. I'm like, no, don't know you. Okay, so that's just one thing I wanted to discuss. How I don't think people should rank other people. Next thing I wanted to discuss is work on being the best version of yourself. No more competition. Like, this whole competitive thing, like, some people, they want to have a competitive edge with other people, and I'm like, doesn't appeal to me. As an introvert, your competitive edge it doesn't appeal to me. Like, when people start getting competitive with each other, I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to go for a walk and look at the trees and the beautiful sky and contemplate nature and think about spirituality, history, art, and lovely things. I'm just not going to be involved with your competitiveness. It doesn't interest me. I can't be the best version of myself when I'm surrounded by people that always want to be in competition with others. It's not uplifting. It's not, I don't know, like, I just feel like I'm kind of tapping into like the more Middle Eastern side of my personality, where people want to build others up and they want others to do well, and just my kindness, and like, where do I get all my kindness from? Like, just my sense of community. I think it's just something that I got from my dad and my grandpa. It's like a personality trait, something that I just feel is very intrinsic within me. And sometimes I always wonder, like, why do I not resonate with the extroverted, like, individualistic, in that I do believe in liberty, life, and the pursuit of happiness, but this whole idea that people just, like, especially in influencer culture or just any culture where people like just want to, where they're hyper fixated on themselves only and they're not really thinking about others. I don't like that. Or like when people say it's not that deep and they're dismissive of other people's, that does not resonate with me. Like, that kind of thinking, it just doesn't resonate with me. I'm like, nope, that does not resonate, It never will, it never can. And yeah, I just think that you have to like be very strong cookie and very open about things that you think. Like, most of the time I don't talk about this stuff, but like, yeah, I'm just thinking more about it. Another thing I want to talk about is why I don't date and why I just don't feel compelled to date at all. Like, I feel like story time are bubbling in my head. So, yeah, like, I haven't dated a lot. Like, I did date some people in my life, but there was only one person in my entire years of dating that I felt super excited about, like, that I had this chemistry with. Like, in general, I'm not one of these women that just has a big need to date. No. Like, I just don't, okay? There was one man that I felt this deep chemistry with, okay? And he was not meant to be for me. But I don't know. I felt something deep with him, okay, that I never felt with anybody else. And yeah, like, I know some people are like, oh, well, if that doesn't work out, you gotta keep going. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel compelled. Like, I just don't. Like, after, like, and looking back, like, I had this feeling at the time, like, I just felt this deep connection with him. But, like, today I just realized that it wasn't that great. Like, because he wasn't a brain point person, and I only want brain point people in my life, like, people that will go to the ends of the earth for me. Like, I'm not interested in men that, like, don't bring, like, that aren't hard workers, like, bringing it, like, I'm not saying you have to be a millionaire, but you need to be making some money. You need to be impressing me on some level, like, as a woman. Because, you know, I just think about my dad, like, stability. You need to have that going for you. Like, I'm not interested in guys that, and there's a lot of guys nowadays, like, they're talking about this 50-50 thing. I'm like, no. This is why Islam, like, I haven't converted to Islam, but it's so much more appealing because it's not what you think. Like, some women think, oh no, like, they think it's like the trad wife thing. No, because there's lots of educated Muslim women who do work, but her money is her money and his money is her money, okay? There's just something about it, like, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm converting to Islam, but just the way that educated Muslim men, like, approach relationships, like, I don't know, that's just some more appealing. And then, like, there's these guys nowadays, they're talking about 50-50, and I'm like, no, you know, I'm not interested. Like, why would I be interested in men that aren't interested in, like, being a partner on a high level? I don't have anything against men. I don't even consider myself, like, a feminist per se. I'm liberal in my, like, a lot of my social issue beliefs. Like, I don't like MAGA at all. But yeah, like, I'm not a fan of, like, men that are always talking about how everything needs to be 50-50 and like just very weak. It doesn't feel like masculine in a good, healthy kind of way. Not like trad wife masculine, but like a man that wants to impress a woman. Like, I don't get that from a lot of men, and I don't know. And then on top of that, I feel like I need to feel like something with a man, and I don't feel that for a lot of men. So yeah, I just don't date because I don't feel like a big need. And a lot of things that I feel like people are looking for in a relationship, I have in my friendships and my family. So yeah, and within myself. So I think a lot of people, like, they have a big need to date. I don't know why. Because maybe there's, like, something that they're looking, like, well, for instance, there's this one guy. Like, he said that he was just really wanting a relationship. Like, and I decided, I don't know, I met him one time, I was just walking, but he really turned me off really super quick because he started talking about how he wanted to analyze how my body would look in jeans and I wear dresses. And then I decided in my mind that I didn't want to meet him because I don't wear jeans. And I dress the way I dress. And I wear dresses. And if you don't like that, I veto you out of my mind. Like, I just don't care. Like, I'm girly girl. Like, I'm not here to impress the men. You need to work to impress me, you know, to show me what a great provider you are. And I guess I've just seen good, strong, healthy men Like, I don't know, I was listening to this one YouTuber, not YouTuber, TikToker, well, I think she's on YouTube too, and I don't follow a lot of women, but Kylie Muse, and she was just talking about, like, how a lot of men just aren't living up to what masculinity could be in a healthy sort of partner-based way, and about how her husband points these things out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not against men, I don't have anything against men, like, my sister has an amazing boyfriend, and I see things that my dad did and my grandpa did, and just this wanting to, like, be masculine and be a provider and, like, impress a woman in a very, maybe I just have a Middle Eastern way of looking at this to some degree. I don't know. That's what I think. I'm independent, but, Syrian women are actually very independent. My Syrian great aunt, she divorced because I think her husband didn't do it for her that way. Just saying, it's not even about, you don't have to be married. I think people think you have to be married or something, but I would only want to be with somebody who could impress me on that level. So I just don't even try to look, because, yeah, it feels weird because it feels hard because I just feel like there's a lot of people nowadays that don't want to impress people, that don't want to be the best version of themselves, and this is not being competitive. In fact, that's part of why I don't like modern dating, because I feel like in the past, like, people really got to know each other, they really got to fall in love with each other. I mean, I'm not talking about arranged marriages, but just like people that actually got to know each other in, like, a real way. It wasn't like this competitive game where they were ranking people by numbers. This is why the modern dating scene it doesn't appeal to me. Plus, I'm a girly girl, and I want to, like, I want to have a relationship with myself and God. I don't want to be one of these women that just, and look, I don't judge anybody. You can do whatever you want. Like, I've always been like, people do what they want to do, but I think about me, like, I just don't want to be one of these women that's, like, seeking male validation. And this is another thing too that I've just observed, and why I think women in general should wait until they're maybe 21, 22 to start dating, because I feel like the younger they start, the sooner that a lot of women start becoming a little too obsessed about, oh, does he like me? Did he call me? And the guys don't do that. Like, some guys do, but the guys don't do that. The guys are living their own lives, and I see a lot of young women, and this continues with women later on, like all these self-help books, like, does he like me? Does he think about me? And I'm like, why would I spend all my time thinking about that? Like, if he likes you, he shows up in your life. It's pretty simple, right? Because men don't agonize about things like that. And as a woman, why would I agonize about things like that? It just seems petty to me. Like, and also, after a while, I feel like it's kind of boring, because I feel like if you show up for each other, you're just always going to show up for each other. And I'm never going to invite you to go live with me. It's not going to happen on the TikTok side. This is just my thoughts on dating. But yeah, after a lot of time, even if you feel like you have chemistry with somebody, you realize after years that, well, that person was never going to show up to impress me. That person might have felt something with me in one way, but clearly never went out of their way to make me feel like I was amazing to them and wanted to, like, bring point themselves for me. And I'm like, so even those feelings that I had towards that person, like, in the past, I feel like it wasn't really real. Just stop trying to join, because you're never going to be a co-host in my lives, okay, on the TikTok side. That's just not going to happen. I don't TikTok that way. So yeah, I just feel like, yeah, this is my belief. Like, for me, I'm not here to tell you what you should believe. I just don't feel any compelling reason to date, period. Like, what am I going to get out of it? Unless I find a man that I feel that feeling with again, and who I meet, like, just in serendipity, like, who I just meet in day-to-day life, and he's pushing himself hard and heavy for me, okay? Like, he really has to push himself to, like, and he has to be a provider, but yet also respectful of the partnership, and I would be respectful of him, but otherwise, yeah, I'm just not going to date. And I'm not going to co-host either, dear. I'm just not going to co-host either. But yeah, this is just what I'm telling you. Like, I'm not going to date. I'm not going to co-host. I'm just going to be, like, very much to myself, like, and that's all I have to say about dating. It's just not happening in my life, you know? So yeah, I'm done talking about that part. Like, I just sometimes feel like talking about it. I don't know why. But at the end of the day, I just have decided I want to live my happy little introverted life, sharing about hair and things like that. You know, like I don't feel like there's anybody on this planet for me. I just don't. Like, I've gotten to that point that I'm like, maybe there is, but I really don't feel like there is. Like, there's been nobody. Like, I just have been less than impressed. Like, anytime, I just feel like men turn it into a numbers game, a competition game, and I'm like, no. That does not impress me. You need to impress me. And if you don't, then, no thanks. We don't rank people. We're God's creations. You don't ever rank a human being by a number. No, you don't do it. We just don't do it. And when you do it, you have illustrated to us that you don't value a human as a creation of God. Okay? You just don't. And that's all I have to say about that. And then there's just other things too in social culture, like being more of an introverted person. I don't like I want to work on being the best, happiest version of myself, but I don't have time to worry about like how other people do things or why they're doing it. And like, you know how some people, like, we live in this society where people want to tell other people how they should live and what they should do, and never just being truly happy. No, I don't have guests because I'm a solitary YouTuber TikToker. I don't have guests. I don't want to have guests because I like to use my content for my channel. Like, I like to go live in my own little way. Like, I'm just here if people want to listen to what I'm saying and they can comment on it in a respectful way, but I'm not here to be like panelly discussy. I'm just here to be my own quiet little self. I'm not here to have a debate. Because I like to use my content on YouTube as well. So no, I don't want people, and I don't trust people. Like, as an introvert, my trust of people is down there. You have to win my trust, and I don't trust randoms. I just don't, you know? Like, what have you done to win my trust? Like, haven't, you know? So yeah, so my lives are always going to be a little bit different than everybody else's in that regard, I guess. I'm just going live in my own little way. And usually I don't even talk that much in my lives because I'm like, I don't know, like, what is making me talk today? Like, I do talk. Like, in the past I used to talk a lot on YouTube. But I don't know, today I just feel on fire and I just feel like, yeah. There's a lot of people, like, they just want to come on social media and have fun and share their creativity. And one thing I'm really big about is I want to end rage baiting. I want to end bullying. I want to end, like, mean girl culture, mean boy culture. I don't like any of it. I want a space where people don't swear, they don't use bad words. My buddy daddy, I don't know, maybe. That's just kind of how I, like, you know, in the past, I'm not saying I've never said any bad words on social media. I'm not saying, like, I might have said a swear word here and there. But I don't know. I've just gotten into a point in my life where I don't like it. Like, in general, I don't swear, period. But recently, I really don't like it. And I just feel like, you know, maybe this is, like, fuddy-duddy, but I just feel like use a more creative word to express yourself. Like, why do you have to swear? Plus, if you can't say that word in front of your 8-year-old child, why are you saying it on social media? Like, I don't know. It's just kind of my thought lately on words and like language that people use, and I don't think that using vulgar language makes you a more creative creator, you know? Like, it doesn't really impress me, and it's not my vibe. I just want a happier, quieter, more introverted vibe. And I feel like how do introverts go about social media? First off, I think anybody can be on social media. I think everybody has a place on social media. I know some people think that only hardcore people should be on social media, but I'm like, no. I like social media with a gentler edge. It's more gentle and just kind-hearted, you know? Like, I like to look at cat videos, okay? Cat videos rock. I love cat videos. They're so sweet and cute, and sunset videos and puppy videos, and I do like to share hair, but I just like the gentle side of life. That's what I like. I love the gentle side of life. That is me. So my social media presence is going to reflect who I am, like just the gentler vibes, you know? I have this craving for a gentle, happy life. I don't want to live some loud life. I don't want, yeah. So anyway, that's a little bit about what's on my mind right now. Not always just chatty these days, but those are things I've been thinking, you know? And at the end of the day, you never have to justify who you are and what you're doing. Like, I guess this is more like feedback I could have for anyone, but especially I think for women, you should never feel insecure as a woman. You should be feeling happy. You're God's creation. Nobody can tell you that you're this, that, and the other thing. Don't let somebody make you feel less than. That's just not cool in my book. You know? That's what I believe. I don't like people that put other people down. I don't like it, period. Like, it's never been my vibe. Yeah, so, like, what are you doing to build others up today? Like, are you using kind words, kind language? That's kind of my thing. Yeah. Well, no, that's totally my thing. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I think I'm going to stop on the TikTok side now and focus on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Just looking juicy. Man. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna put it away. I've been a chatty cat though. Like, I'm not usually chatty that much chatty. I don't really feel that chatty all the time. But I felt chatty then. I don't know. I guess another thing I could say, I just decided to end the one on TikTok just because I kind of want to focus more on YouTube. This is another thought I have recently. I just feel like, don't ever worry about things because everything that will be, will be. Like, there's no, like, in the past, I just think, like, there were things that you worry about, right? But it never changed the outcome. And as somebody that in the past, and I'm not saying I'm completely over this. Like, so, as somebody in the past that I feel was prone to worrying about things, I can't say that I've ever, like, I don't feel like anything beneficial ever came out of worrying about anything. It just never benefits you in any way. Like, I can't think of anything, any time, where I ever benefited from worrying about something, you know. I've never benefited from worrying about anything. I just don't. Like, and I feel like, I know some people never worry about anything, but in the past I used to worry about stuff. But I realized every single time that you worry about something, it never changes the outcome. So why do we worry about things that we can't change? Because everything that's going to be will be. And finally, like, I feel like, I don't know why it took, because maybe because I'm a sensitive person or something, why it took me this long to get on board with that, you know? Like, why did it take this long to finally realize that everything that'll be will be? Instead of, like, worrying about something, why don't we, it has been the most freeing thing, and it finally allowed me to be the best version of myself, because I feel like, with just, like, focusing on spirituality and loving God in my own way, and not in a way that I'm telling other people to do it, that, you know, the people who have cared about me the most have just resurfaced into my life. Like, I think about my friend from college. She's such a good person. She is such a good person, because in the past we had our differences, but I think about this, like, you know, we had our differences, but she actually has always cared about me, and she's always been my cheerleader. Like, when we had our difference of opinion, it's because she said that she cared that deeply about me, and she didn't want to lose my friendship in life, and she had a deeper feeling for me than I feel like, I don't know, a lot of people do. And I have to have deep friendship like that. And with my family too, like, I have to feel deeply. And if you don't feel deeply towards somebody, I just don't understand the point of, like, pursuing, like, interactions like that. And maybe this is just too, I don't know, serious for some people, but that's how I feel. And that's why in general I just prefer being introverted. Like, I don't need lots and lots of social stimulation. I just don't. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. So those are my thoughts on all that, and why I'm gearing myself towards a quieter and happier life. Like, the fewer complications you have, and then just when you stop, like, worrying about what other people think, and, like, stop worrying about, like, is this gonna happen, is that gonna happen, things just, like, kind of start falling into place more. I feel like you start just having less anxiety about stuff. Like, life just starts feeling a little bit more joyful, so to speak. It's just, like, less stress in life too. There's just no reason to stress about things that are gonna end up a certain way anyway. Like, I've literally, and it just changes. It changed everything. So, like, anytime, like, you get upset about something, or you feel riled up about something, or you just feel on edge about something, a lot of times you're worrying about that, you're getting worked up about that. It's just not worth it, period. Because the true things will always be stable, consistent, honest, and real. And you don't have to, like, follow the highs and lows of anything. You just have to be. And I'm not saying you can't feel deeply for things, but when you just start being, and knowing that God cares about you, and not following, like, some specific, like, version of, like, what people say that is. I'm talking about the spiritual way. I don't know. I'm not going to go too much into, like, what I believe personally, but I don't know. I'm just going to say I think Sufi Islam and some versions of Christianity get it more than, like, Christians in general. Like, the I will pray for you Christians. No. I don't know. Most people don't resonate with me. Because they tend to be the most judgy, catty, meanie weenies. They just are, okay? I don't see Muslims doing that. They just don't. Okay? They just don't do that. But Christians love to do that. I don't know. So I'm following spirituality in my own way. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. But it kind of just gives you like this space, like in the past when people would say things, and then I just had to realize that's their opinion. Let them have their opinion. And now, like, I'm focusing more on if somebody says something and they're just being a little too abrasive with their opinion, you just get up and you walk out of the room and you go outside and look at the trees. And you give yourself permission to do that. And when you give yourself permission to do that, you just take yourself out of any negative type interaction. Like, you immediately walk away from any situation that feels negative. Like, you don't give your time to it. And at the end of the day, anytime you worry or really worry about something that you can't, but anytime you worry about something, or you get like the spilling the tea culture, like the celebrity culture, like, well, for example, like, why are we worried about like who Taylor Swift is engaged to and marrying? Like, honestly, I don't even know who her fiance was, okay? And people are like losing their minds over this, and I'm like, I don't know. Whatever happened to just liking somebody's music and not acting like they're a god or something? I personally don't listen to Taylor Swift music, but I don't know. I just feel like maybe social media has blurred the lines, or people just like they're acting too strange about like who dates who, or just like, why does it even matter who she dates and marries? Like, I don't understand. Like, how is that guiding my life at all? Hi. It just doesn't guide my life. Like, who Taylor Swift's married to, who Gwen Stefani's married to, I don't really care, because they're not me and that's not my life. You know, no. It just doesn't matter like who a celebrity's married to. But maybe I'm feeling this way because, like I said, I don't watch TV. So, well, and I do follow social media, but I don't follow like a lot of celebrities. Like, I think today I saw some posts on Facebook from Duran Duran, because I do like them, but I don't like follow like who they're married to, like, or who they're divorced from. Like, that's never been part of the equation. I just like their music. Like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know. It's just kind of strange. Like, why are we worried? I don't know. I feel like society is regressing in a way, because Tina Turner sang an amazing song, like, what's love got to do with it? Like, why don't we focus on that? Like, live your life. You don't need to worry about what other people are doing. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Take this out of this section. Yeah, I kind of miss the 80s music, 90s music. I just feel like today everything's so like, I don't know. There's just no, like, there's no boundary, I feel like. But you create the boundary. Like, even if you are on social media, like, just let the celebrities date and marry who they're going to marry. Like, can you change that, by the way? And do you think maybe you're overinflating it too? Like, I don't know, I was just thinking about that. And it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now I'm feeling quieter, I guess. Because I'm on to living my own little happy life. I'm just never going to worry about what other people are doing again. I'm in there, I'm living my happy life. It's a good area to be in. Sometimes you get this burst of energy and you feel like expressing what's on your mind. But in general, it's like, I feel like I'm in a part of my life where I just want to live for me and to be kind to other people and not have a lot of fuss. Sure. Welcome to you. I mean, why am I singing about you? I don't know. That song got stuck in my head for some reason. Have you ever thought about what it would be like if Winnie the Pooh was president of the United States? I think life would be a lot calmer. This is such a funny thought I just have pop in my head, but I feel like everything would be calmer. People might look out for each other more. There'd probably be more honey in the White House. Why I get these funny thoughts sometimes? I'm just like, it just popped in my head, like Winnie the Pooh is president. Well, it'd have to be better than what we're doing now. Just saying, it have to be better than what they're doing now. Like, for instance, here's some fun facts about our administration. They said they were going to send out a stimulus check so people would vote for them. Well, I don't know, I wasn't following the Trump campaign, but he did say that. And then, guess what happened? There were a whole bunch of rumor mills. This is why you have to vet. I don't know, they're always talking about the fake news, but there were literally like these sites that looked legitimate. They were saying the stimulus checks were going out in August, and the IRS had to debunk it. I'm like, what? How is that happening? But, like, why didn't he just send out a stimulus check or something? He knows the economy's bad. Like, he didn't even keep his word on that. So we're gonna be like, oh, but he's gonna send out a... And I'm like, I don't know. But why didn't... Like, why... This is why you have to be very careful about what you... Like, you need to vet news stories that you hear online. Because a lot of times there's a lot of stuff that's not true that's circulating on social media, and I think that was circulating on the TikTok too, actually, and some websites that kind of looked legitimate, but they weren't. They were like pretend news sites or something. I don't know. But if Winnie the Pooh was president, we'd probably get a honey stimulus check. I'm allergic to honey, actually. I don't know if I'd like a honey stimulus check. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, do 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 the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. I was really willy-nilly on bed. Why is that song stuck in my head? I don't know. I love the concept of Winnie the Pooh, but not exactly the execution. It's like, I think he's cute. It's funny. Oh no, the Disney version, because he's wearing a shirt. Because in the original book by Milne, he's not wearing a shirt, you know? Like, he wears a shirt. But you know what I just think is funny is that some people dress up as Winnie the Pooh for Halloween, but they're wearing a yellow dress and a red top, but they're not wearing a Pooh hat or Pooh face. I'm like, how are you Winnie the Pooh for Halloween unless you're wearing like a Pooh Bear head? I'm confused about that. I don't know. Maybe it was just a simple costume and somebody said their costume was gonna be like Winnie the Pooh-esque. But you know, I was thinking about this too. Why don't we bring back crop tops over dresses? This could be Winnie the Pooh inspired fashion. Like, I like to wear crop tops under dresses, like for coverage, like in certain situations. But what, like, you know, in the 1940s, they used to have like these cropped, well, in the 50s too, to some degree, like cropped sweaters, like boleros, that they wore over dresses. But what if we just brought back Winnie the Pooh fashion? And we started wearing red cropped shirts over yellow dresses, and we were Winnie the Pooh inspired fashion, you know? It could be a thing. Why not? We could have fun, like, dressing up like Winnie the Pooh. And it could be, like, kind of our, like, silent commentary about how we think Winnie the Pooh would be a better president. You know, he'd give us a honey stimulus check. Like, he'd believe in everybody having honey. And he'd be neighborly. And he'd be nice. I mean, he might be kind of a diva. Well, Eeyore's a bitter diva. You know, Eeyore is a wild card. He really is. Because you would think Eeyore doesn't have much confidence. But I have all these theories about the Winnie the Pooh. Okay? I don't know where I get my theories about Winnie the Pooh, but these are my theories. Like, Eeyore comes across as like, oh, he doesn't have much confidence, and like if somebody notices something about him, he goes, thanks for noticing me. Well, one of my first videos, I don't know, because I've always thought about Winnie the Pooh. This was one of my first videos on my other YouTube channel, is where we interviewed Winnie the Pooh salt and pepper shaker for YouTube. I was very upset with my sister because she threw away the Winnie the Pooh salt and pepper shaker that she bought at Disneyland because one of them had a crack on his nose. I'm like, that's silly. Like, they were cute. Stop throwing it away. She did anyway. This was like 18 years ago. It's like one of my first videos on YouTube. And I always thought that Eeyore was a diva. I stand by this to this day. I'm a little bit of a Disney fan. I like going to Disneyland. But I believe... Okay, that's nice, I'm glad. But I believe that Eeyore is a diva, okay? Because Eeyore pretends to be all like, oh, modest, like faux modesty, like, oh, or like insecure. But then like somebody just makes one compliment and then he's like, thanks for noticing me in this bellowy voice. He wants, you know who I think Eeyore kind of is like? He's kind of like influencers before they were influencers, but kind of like the mid-influencer. Like, okay, so Tigger, like you know what? If the 100 Acre Woods were social media, this is just something I've thought about. But now it kind of applies to modern social media. Maybe Instagram and now TikTok to some degree. So you have like the blonde influencer girlies that, you know, they're just blonde and everybody follows them. I don't know. Because they're blonde. I don't know why. Like, I don't follow them, but people do, I guess. And Tigger is kind of like the blonde influencer girlies, okay? Bouncing around on his tail. Just real exuberant. Like, mega confidence. But really shouldn't have that much confidence. But just mega confidence. But doesn't feel insecure at all. Is very open. And then you just have Winnie the Pooh, who is kind of bumbling, but just wants to eat honey all day. he's kind of like, I don't know, like the nerdy kind of bumbling guy, you know, and he's like, and then you have Eeyore. Eeyore is like the wannabe influencer, diva, who pretends to be insecure, who might be insecure about some things, but is not as insecure as you think, who, like, actually likes attention, who, I don't know, because he'll say, "Thanks for noticing me," and I'm like, oh my gosh, Eeyore, you're a diva. So that's what that first video was about. It was just like these were just the thoughts I had about Winnie the Pooh. I don't know. I just always thought that Eeyore was a diva. And Eeyore is cute, but Eeyore's a little bit of a diva, okay? I do like donkeys, though, in real life and in pretend times. So, I think Eeyore's a diva. I really do. And it's kind of, Eeyore's kind of like the influencer girlies who, they don't have like 1 million followers, but maybe they're kind of like trying to, like, they're kind of posers, or they're trying to piggyback on like Tigger, like the blondie influencer girl, but they're kind of insecure, and then they pretend like, oh, look at me, thanks for noticing, and I'm like, there's none of that. But, it's kind of my observations about the 100-acre wood. If you ever wanted it, you probably didn't, but there you go. If you ever did want it, that's what I think. Yeah, so Winnie the Pooh is kind of the nerdy guy, and I would say Eeyore is the diva. The wannabe diva, influencer, poser. Yeah, so you've probably never heard anybody psychoanalyze Winnie the Pooh. I'm not a psychologist. This is just my fun time interpretation of the 100-acre wood. I'm not saying there's probably nothing to it. It's just how I see it. It's how I envision them. That's why I made that first video. It was just a funny thought that popped in my head, but I feel like nobody else ever got it. Like, nobody has gotten that video. Nobody else has ever gotten where I'm coming from when I made that video. And I think it's kind of funny now, because I feel like it kind of applies actually to the whole social media landscape, you know, in a way. Okay. You should just have fun on your own accord. If you have fun, you will have fun. I just brushed my hair. I don't know why you're spraying this ball. like 100 degrees in here. I don't have my air conditioner on. Ah, it's very warm. I hate running the air conditioner though. I'm not going to. It just costs too much money. I don't want to turn it on. Okay? And I'm not like gonna go to a cooling center because those places are crowded. Like, personally, on my days off, I'll turn it on a little bit, but I'll just like, I don't know. I don't like air conditioning that much. Like, some people really love cooling centers, but I just like to be in uncrowded spots. I'm not gonna run my air conditioner, spend a lot of money. I mean, I could see going to the mall for a little bit, but I like to be. I just like to have like space, not like be in crowded places. Like, even though I've gone to Disneyland and stuff like that, in general, like, I don't know. I don't like a lot of crowds all the time. great things for